Yes, hello everybody and welcome to the final installment of my Halo playthroughs. I have so far in this series played through every Halo game I own entirely blind, or in some cases as blind as possible, and today we finish it all off with Halo 4, the grand finale to the series. But I am still mostly blind about what happens in the game. All I know is the ending, like shit that happens in the very last level. Besides that, I know next to nothing. I mean, I don't think that I need to give you a summary of all of the 3 previous games. You can look it up, or even better, watch the videos I made to them. And with that, let's get right into it. The game begins with a cutscene where Dr. Halsey, the woman that created all the Spartans that we met in Halo Reach, is interrogated by a mysterious person who I'm pretty sure we literally never see again. She is, of course, now that the war is over, coming under some fire from, you know, her practices. After all, she did basically indoctrinate millions of children into becoming super soldiers. And she is about to face some consequences for that, but she of course has a strong argument, because if it wasn't for soldiers like the Master Chief, the war against the Covenant would have likely been lost. She talks a little bit more about how these kid soldiers didn't really feel that sad and everything, and that they were treated perfectly because she created personal AI assistants for them. Make note of this point she makes about the personal AI assistants basically taking care of the soldiers and being their best and sometimes only friends. It is going to be the most important plot point of this game. Afterwards, the cutscene ends with the argument being unresolved, with no judgment being made against Halsey, and we never ever see her again in this game. And with that, level 1 begins. 4 years after the Human Covenant War ended in Halo 3, the Master Chief is reawakened by Cortana in what remains of the ship that he has been stuck in space on for the last years. She has awoken him because the ship is being invaded by someone. We don't know yet what it is. And so, we the Master Chief are of course set out to figure out who has disturbed our slumber. Right away what you can see is that this game is pretty damn beautiful. Like, the graphic, the best this series has seen so far. And my, oh my, not just the graphics are yeah, no, in all accounts, I really liked the I really like the character designs in this game. I think they're pretty damn good. We walk through the ship a little bit and get the shit scared out of ourselves. Oh my fucking lord! I'm playing Halo, not a horror game! Before we have this quick time event climbing sequence and have to kill an elite in a very goofy way. Don't worry, quick time events don't actually appear that often in this game, only really towards the very end. Yeah, we just killed an elite, that is what Master Chief realizes, and Cortana quickly deducts that this must be a rogue Covenant fleet attacking their ship. But why are they there? Well, as they open up the blinds of this vessel, they realize that they have drifted to a Forerunner planet, and the Covenant, at the very least this small fleet of them, of course, when they go onto the planet, finally come face to face with the gods that they have been believing in since the very first game. The level itself is genuinely pretty damn fun. Right now I can immediately say the gunplay in this game feels utterly amazing. Yes, even with the lag that is happening because my PC is dying. I explained it in the Arma Apex video, go watch that. But it just feels great to play this game. And there's also this little outdoor sequence with no gravity, which reminds me a lot of Halo 2. It's fine enough, you know? You activate a big rocket and destroy some Covenant ships before the planet sucks you in. All the while, Cortana seems to be having some issues.
You'll have to prime the launch for ignition.
X.
It's nothing. Just get to the launch station.
You tried to kill me last game.
Sorry, did I miss orbiting a Forerunner planet at some point?
Oh.
Thing at a time.
Wait, I can sprint in this game? Since fucking when can you do that? We're entering the modern era of gaming.
Hold on! We're caught in the gravity well.
Can you track the escape pods?
Negative! Look out!
That's an abrupt as hell title drop. Master Chief and Cortana have crash landed on this mysterious planet, and with everything looking clear at the moment, Master Chief confronts Cortana about her little fit that she threw on the ship. As it turns out, Cortana has been in service for longer than she is supposed to be in service for, and her memory is running low. And she is slowly but surely dying, and the only one who can fix her is Dr. Halsey, who is all the way back at Earth. I'm gonna be honest, playing this game where Master Chief's entire story is about Cortana slowly losing memory capacity and dying of age, while my PC is going through the exact same thing, made the story of this game probably hit way harder than it was supposed to. But anyways, we're off to the next level. Just like the first level of this game was very similar to Halo 1's Pillar of Autumn, level 2 is very similar to Halo 1's, well, Halo, the second level of the game where you're driving through the green hills. In this level as well, you're now in a warthog driving across the strange Forerunner planet, looking for any way to get off it, and man is this level beautiful. Holy hell is this game beautiful. Like, oh, it just... Oh, it feels great to just look at. Certainly not Covenant. All right. Wow. And to be honest, the gameplay in these parts is still pretty damn good. Some nice open areas you can engage in a variety of ways. And still the good combat from before. However, I must say, this is also where the first flaw started to show. The enemies in this game are simply not as good as they were in the previous games. Firstly, their AI is a lot worse, with them acting a lot less military strategical and more like usual shooter game enemies that are sometimes really stupid. And their placements are also a bit random, sometimes just en masse they storm you for no reason, and it just feels tedious with how many enemies there are around. But it's not that big of a problem yet. Cortana manages to pick up a signal from a nearby UNSC spaceship that is coming to pick them up. Someone is trying to listen to the distress call they sent out like 4 years ago. But of course, now where they are in the planet, the ship probably shouldn't follow. So it is up to them to warn this ship, keep it from also getting sucked in. And for that they're going to need a communications relay. And what follows are 2 more encounters. One incredibly fun one on this bridge where there are so many ways you can access it. Maybe, I don't know, I think it could be my favorite encounter in the entire game, full stop. And then there is this incredibly dog shit one at another Forerunner facility that is just really boring to fight through and really tedious. But there's some cool new weapons here. And the whole level ends with Cortana opening a portal closer to this communications relay, while a strange new foe reveals itself. But more on that later.
How did... Quick! Into the portal! Chief, go! Related to the Sentinels, I'm guessing, but it's hard to say without a closer look. Come on, let's figure out where that transit system dumped us.
Okay, auto sentry. All right. Oh.
Put me in the console.
Where in the fuck are we? This game is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. We now find ourselves at the center of this strange Forerunner planet that is, by the way, called Requiem. And at the center there is what appears to be a communications relay, which Cortana and Master Chief hope to use to communicate with the UNSC Infinity, the ship that is getting closer, to tell them to not enter. But this relay is guarded by several layers of a mysterious shield. So Cortana and Chief firstly gotta get these shield beacons down. And as they get on with it, the same new foe from earlier reveals itself fully. Whoa, is that a gun?
They're back.
Whoa, is that a gun?
They're back.
Whoa, is that a gun? Is that a dog with a gun in its head? Yes, it sure as hell is. What in the fuck is this? These are the Prometheans, the warriors of the Forerunners and the new faction introduced in Halo 4, which you will be primarily fighting. They are fine. What I really don't like is that you get introduced to basically every enemy but one in the very first level they show up in. So fighting them becomes repetitive so quickly. Basically, there's the dogs, which are my favorite. They swarm you, they have guns, they can climb on walls, and they will try to get behind you. They can be annoying in numbers, but they are cool. Then there are the knights, these big guys. They can throw grenades, they can teleport, they can melee. They're basically every single, like, medium Covenant enemy slapped into one. And then there are these drones, which are the worst enemies ever. They dodge your bullets, they give enemies shields like engineers, and they can even revive dead enemies. It's just... Right now, in this level at the very least, fighting the Prometheans is still fun, because they're all new. But like, within the next 2 levels, you will already be sick and tired of fighting them, because they just don't get anything new added to them. The only new thing that gets added is in the next level, and from then on, it's the same enemies every single time. As for this level, it is not that good. It is, as I said, all about getting those 2 communications relays down, and that involves going to a single location and doing some very repetitive objectives there. It is just really not that fun. However, at the very least, the new weapons added provide some sort of new factor to everything, you know. The Forerunner weapons are fine enough. Some of them are really cool. They are sort of like mix and match stuff, like a pistol mixed with a shotgun, or a sniper mixed with an assault rifle. But others are just really bland, like another basic ass shotgun. The level gets a little bit more interesting towards the end, because the Covenant also join in and we get some multi-faction battles, which are always appreciated, mostly because this is the only time they happen in the game. And at the very end of this level, the big reveal, of course, finally happens. You get both shields down and activate the communications relay, only to realize that this isn't a communications relay, it's a cell, which you have just opened. What in the fuck am I looking at?
How soon till Infinity hits the gravity well?
A minute or 2 max.
That is a very cool
The Covenant are
noise.
making a push for something on the far side of the cell.
I don't think that that is anything even resembling a gravity relay Cortana. I think we're unleashing something that shouldn't be unleashed. Then the Covenant.
Chief, you need to hear this.
We're detecting a slight gravimetric disturbance near the planetary entrance. Suggest altering approach vector 43K-750K-12K.
They're not diverting from the opening. Hurry, Chief.
Why the fuck did you make me stop to listen to an audio log then, bitch?
Infinity, this is Sierra 117 of the UNSC forward unto dawn. Do you copy? Infinity, do you read?
Chief? Chief, let go of the contacts.
Find us an exit.
Don't wait around on my account.
So fades the great harvest of my betrayal. Even these beasts recognize what you were oblivious to, human.
We have released the last remaining Forerunner, one who calls himself the Didact. He is the main villain of Halo 4, and thus also sort of the final villain of the franchise. And they're going proper, full-on, super powerful bad guy villain with him. And I like his introduction, except for the part where he just begins monologuing to Master Chief. It would have made sense if he used like Master Chief's radio chip to talk with the UNSC Infinity to deliver the message that the Forerunners have returned to wipe out everyone, but him just yapping to Master Chief is kind of cliche and I didn't like that part. But besides that, it's a very cool introduction to a proper powerful villain, which we haven't had anything like him in Halo yet, which is kind of surprising. Well, he leaves. There is a Banshee run, not a Warthog run, a Banshee run, which is ass. And afterwards we get to one of the coolest cutscenes in the game, where Master Chief gets to watch the UNSC Infinity get sucked into the planet as the Didact chases after the ship for an unknown reason. The next level is all about Master Chief going to the wreck of the UNSC Infinity, which is crashed in a beautiful swamp. And his task is to rescue some survivors, rejoin with other teams deployed to the region, and keep the Didact from stealing too much information from the UNSC Infinity, which is what he's currently doing, like reading all the data, figuring out about humanity's whereabouts and everything. This level is very beautiful. It is a whole lot better with plenty better encounters. And we meet Lasky, a sort of vice captain of the ship, and he's one of my favorite characters of all time in Halo. He'd managed to do that within just one game, so he's pretty damn good. And I kid you not, for I think what is like maybe one of the first time in like 2 years, I forgot to record this level. Like, I never forget to record, but this time I did. And I only have the ending, where you get to enter this sick-as-hell mech and fight your way through a very boring linear section, then a much better open section. So yeah, that's all I have. You fend off the Didact, and then meet up with the captain of the ship, Captain Del Rio. And this is where I will say one thing. Say about the story what you want, but the character writing in this game is better than it has ever been in Halo, in my opinion. You really can just feel the tension. You can understand every character. Del Rio just wants to leave the planet with the Infinity, get his men back to Earth, and then deal with the Didact with the help of the entire UNSC, while Master Chief wants to go after the Didact knowing he's weakened after he has been blasted. Both sides are totally reasonable, and I really like that. But yeah, anyways, on to a level that I actually recorded. The next level is called Reclaimer, and I have exactly two things to say about it. Firstly, the level is great. Secondly, I decided to switch on my recording program, which means that the game was a lot less laggy from now on, but my microphone also sounds like I'm actually speaking through the Master Chief helmet. After you and Cortana side with Del Rio and agree to firstly help the Infinity leave the planet before you take on the Didact yourself, you now have to firstly take out 3 big-ass Promethean cannons, and then the gravity well, which is holding both the Didact and the Infinity captive inside of Requiem. You do this by driving around in a gigantic vehicle called the Mammoth. And this level is just great. The first half is one of my favorite levels in all of Halo, I'm gonna say it, because you're driving around this gigantic vehicle and you have to protect it from Covenant and Prometheans alike as they try to destroy it. Halfway through they get their own big ass vehicle and you gotta board it and take it down, and oh, it's just amazing.
Target acquired.
Is that thing about oh okay, that's fucking cool as shit, I'll admit. What in the actual fuck is that? Is that a flying scarab?
The Mammoth won't last long out in the open like that. We'll have to find a way to keep the Covenant off them.
Gauss Hog, alright. What is that? Oh, he almost gets me killed. Alright, so we're taking the switch at 4. Okay.
That did it! Time to make an exit.
Okay, how do I escape the Sadly, after one more cool encounter on a bridge, after now where the Mammoth has been EMP'd by that weird flying thingy, you gotta make your way to the gravity well on foot. The level takes a little bit of a nosedive in quality, as another problem with Halo 4 arises. I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but the enemies are not as fun to fight as in any of the previous Halo games. They are oftentimes just put here and there without care, especially in this level. Sometimes it's just really annoying when you have dozens of enemies just not bothering to move. And it's just, sometimes it's nice and challenging, sometimes it's annoying. But then, after you enter a Forerunner's facility and Cortana starts to glitch out just a little bit more again than usual, the infamous Halo 4 lore dump happens. It is given to us by the librarian, the Forerunner's wife, so technically it's not the last Forerunner. And let me just summarize you what she says, and I'm not sure I'll get everything correct, but I'm pretty sure I'll get like most of it. Eons ago, the Forerunners felt threatened by the ever-expanding faction of humanity that was taking over planets faster than any foe ever had before. The Forerunners decided to combat humanity only to realize that humanity wasn't fighting them and invading. They were fleeing, for they had discovered the greatest enemy and the most dangerous creature in the entire universe. The Flood Woman. The Didact, a forerunner both fascinated yet also threatened by humanity, came up with a solution. Using an artifact called the Composer, he was going to turn all humans into digital data. This way, not only could the Flood not infect them, but he could also utilize them to easily create his own erotic visual novel. The Forerunners were outraged at his idea, but they still wanted to save humanity, so they allowed him to tinker around a bit, but he betrayed them, using the Composer despite being not allowed to, and turning some humans into data. Then he created from this data the Prometheans, mindless warriors incapable of getting affected that would always fight for the Forerunners no matter what. He had to be imprisoned, so he was locked away in the Goon Cave, where he would need to be listening to terrible music for the rest of his life. However, the Flood eventually of course won. Forerunners decided to utilize all the Halo rings to wipe the galaxy clean and allow for a reset. With the Forerunners out of the picture, it was now humanity's job to stand firm and obtain the mantle of responsibility. Or something like that, I think. Anyways, after this, Cortana comes back and she realizes that the librarian, that's the name of that Forerunner woman yet again, has altered our genetics so we are immune to the Composer, because that is what a Didact is looking for now yet again.
It's a long story, but I know what the Didact's after.
I know that part. The librarian filled me in when she snatched me from the system. But what I don't know is what she did to you.
What? She's just a colleague, I know. I swear there's nothing going on between us. What follows is a pretty damn good vehicle section, which is much needed because the two previous sections in the former level were one where you literally drive a tank in a straight line and a mediocre one with the mech. So yeah, this is really welcome and really fun. Afterwards, you all go back onto the Infinity, and Del Rio wants to take the Chief with him. The Chief refuses, but Del Rio is very adamant about it. Cortana freaks out and glitches out harder than ever before. Now Del Rio wants to dismantle her. Master Chief will not allow that. So they both fight over the chip a little bit with words, and it ends with the Master Chief storming off, Del Rio wanting to arrest him, and then the next level happens. Fuck. Cortana has a talk about her existence as this AI who sort of also has become a real person to the Master Chief, and she says something about Master Chief figuring out who of the two really is the machine in this case. The sentence makes absolutely no sense right here, but at the end of the game it will make sense, don't worry. Also... my favorite character appears again, and I'll just play this clip and show you why he's a real bro, and I just love him.
So what's your plan?
Infinity's tracked the Didact's vessel to a docking structure southeast of here. We'll jump ship as Infinity exits the roof.
You know, I was sent down here with orders to prevent you from leaving. In case you'd already gone, I took the precaution of ordering a Pelican, outfitted for full combat pursuit. I hope to God you're wrong about that Forerunner. Or whatever he is, Chief. But in the event you're not. And Chief, good luck.
I like this guy.
Both of you.
I really like this guy.
Come on, Chief. Take a girl for a ride.
Sorry, Cortana, but I found someone else. Sadly, this amazing character writing is the only good thing about this entire level. Yeah, I really like the whole message with how seeing the Master Chief firstly take care of their needs and wanting to leave before then going after the Didact, basically proving his selflessness, made Lasky join him and is now also helping him fulfill his purpose. That's amazing writing, but the level is utter dog shit. For the first time in Halo, you get to fly a Pelican all by yourself. An exciting concept. Sadly, it is utilized very, very poorly, because all that you actually need the Pelican for in this level is to get to the on-foot sections, which make up most of the level. Because in this level you have the goal, you want to go into these pillars to weaken the Didact's shields, and then trap him with the pillars before he can leave Requiem. So what you end up doing is you fly to a pillar with the Pelican, take out a few ghosts, banshees, I don't know whatever the hell you call those flying vehicles, it's the last Halo game, I still don't have all these names down. Then you go into the pillar and fight, then you fly to the next pillar, do the same, and then you fly to the last pillar, do the same. This interesting and super legendary Halo vehicle is only utilized to fly straight and kill about 8 of the exact same enemy in the exact same way. And the worst part is later in this level there is a flying section in one of the pillars with a Banshee. Why didn't you use the fucking Pelican here? You had it! What the fuck?
Hello everybody, my name is Mark Ryan.
This guy stinks!
I mean, this level would be acceptable if the indoor sections were at least fun, but out of the 3, only the very last one, where you are entirely surrounded and attacked from all sides by Covenant, is actually intense and fun. The others see you fighting Prometheans in areas that look the exact same as them, so they just blend into the surroundings and it's not fun at all.
Of course, if Infinity wasn't on his way back to Earth, locating and disabling it would be trivial.
We can handle it.
That's hardly the point, is it? I found the carrier wave generator. It's on the opposite end of this chamber. We can use this gondola to cross to the other side. Find the activation switch.
Not the gondolas again!
Walt, please, please just hear me out, please!
The tower's instructions to the Didact shields would be drowned in noise.
Please give me like a giant
Seeing a control facility at the top of the tower. We need to be there yesterday.
Cortana, that is actually impossible. Holy shit, this Ramsey is not just making you weird, it's also making you really fucking bad. You weren't kidding. Okay, now I hit these without it. It's locked. After making it past the 2 hunters, we get to the control tower from which we can try to lock the Didact in. However, as we do it, Cortana's rampancy finally gets the better of her and she begins losing her absolute mind, failing to capture the Didact and allowing him to enter his main ship and escape. Cortana and Master Chief follow suit in a sequence I would have really liked to be gameplay, where he jumps from ship to ship to get closer to the Didact, but it's just a cutscene. And with some real Star Wars sounding as music, we warp to the place where the composer is. And, well, this game has to be called Halo for a reason.
Cortana?
Still here.
A halo?
Installation 3. It's where Infinity found the coordinates for Requiem.
Then why are they bypassing it?
Because the composer's not on the ring. What are you waiting for? That station's not gonna save itself.
I'm not gonna lie, that Halo theme finally towards the semi-final level of the game hitting, it felt really good and gave me some real shivers. So yeah, Captain Chief, Master Chief hijacks one of those Covenant flying vehicles and trusts Cortana to fly it. However, she has gotten so bad that she's incapable of doing so and almost gets him killed. And with that begins the next level, a much better one, which has some really, really powerful moments with Cortana and the Master Chief. It is actually a pretty damn good level. Oh my lord, holy fuck! That was kind of terrifying. Scary, holy shit. I will attach it. Hold up. Fuck! And make it as many as you can. That'll show us. What can I say? The encounters in this level are simply incredibly fun. And honestly, I get why some people say that they would have preferred to actually fight on the Halo ring to find the composer instead of just on a research station near it. But I think it's a nice change up, and seeing the Halo ring in the background is just wonderful. It looks so cool. Anyways, you find the composer, which is this big ass artifact. So there is this epic ass last stand section in a Mantis where you have to protect it, which is just really challenging and cool, all the while Cortana begins losing her mind more and more.
Another way!
But yeah, besides all the cool action, my favorite part of this level is the riding with Cortana by a long mile. There is especially one sequence that comes to mind, where after she has been glitching out the entire level but has slowly been regaining her consciousness, she says that she wants to be inserted into the main defense system of the station so she can keep the Didact at bay. But as you actually get there, she begins bugging out again. So there is just this, I was really hesitating, as you can see in the footage right here.
Insert me into the defense grid.
I don't really think that is a good idea at all. Because I just didn't want to do it. I didn't trust her at all by this point. But when you then do insert her because you have to, and she manages to pull it off, that is just a great character moment to show just how much she really is holding herself together for the Chief. Just absolute perfect writing. And then the level ends with the Didact in his capital ship stealing the composer and killing all those humans on the station by using it in a pretty damn gruesome scene. So with the Didact on its way to Earth, Master Chief must take chase with a Cortana who is slowly but surely doubting if she even wants to be saved because of all of her failures and the deaths that have been caused because of them. And that leads us into the final level, Midnight. And I can safely say the beginning of this level is the most epic and the best beginning to a final level of Halo yet. Master Chief flying in his space jet over the Didact ship as it arrives over Earth, and he begins to boot up the composer as he tries to deliver a nuke directly to the composer and the Didact, blowing both up. Meanwhile, Lasky, who is now the new captain of the Infinity after Del Rio has been fired, is also there and trying to fire a hole into the ship so Master Chief has more direct access to the Didact. But for that, he will need Master Chief's help one last time as he takes out some anti-spaceship guns. There is so much going on in this first section, so much epic shit just happening all at once. It is incredible. And towards the end, when an epic version of the Halo theme kicks in, this is the first game in a long time to make me feel this hyped and emotional for an ending. Holy shit. Oh!
Infinity. Captain Del Rio, do you read?
Chief, it's Lasky. Is that you?
Affirmative. Where's the captain?
Recon didn't take to his abandoned question. I'm afraid I'll have to do.
The Didact's got the composer. We're in a broadsword carrying a Havoc-grade payload. On approach to delivery.
Let's see if we can grease the wheels through. All ships, prepare to engage.
Just closed off our entrance to the composer.
We can try punching a hole in that hull plating, but Infinity won't be able to get a clear shot with all that black.
We'll take care of the guns.
Alright, what now? Who's got the cannons? On it. Say less. Oh, they're getting good. Ah, they're getting good. Fuck. I took it out with my life! Sadly, this level of quality completely goes down the shitter the second you go into the Didact ship. And I'm not joking, this may be the worst section in the entire game. I don't know in which level it was, I think it was in the one where you fly with the pelican, where I complained about how everything just looked the same, and you just fought billions of Prometheans without end that all blended into the terrain. This is like that, just even worse. Everything is the same shade of grey and looks exactly like the Prometheans, which are everywhere in this level. And you know, I was ready to fight the Didact in a boss fight. They aren't the best in Halo, but I thought maybe for the finale they'll pull something out. And then I begin fighting across very similar looking platforms 3 times, inching closer to the Didact, while Cortana fully loses it, and I'm getting slightly worried. And then after Cortana is completely just gone and can't help anymore at all, Master Chief approaches the Didact and they have this really weird exchange. It's not epic at all, looking at how this is the second time you ever see the guy. And then Cortana does this, locks the Didact in place. Master Chief, in a quick time event, places a grenade and kills the Didact. And if that wasn't bad enough and cringe-inducing enough, then he sacrifices himself by blowing up the nuke manually, but somehow Cortana transfers him into a digital space where he is safe from the nuke despite him literally punching the nuke to activate it. And then they have a really nice emotional exchange, which I honestly like. And then she, however, has like a physical body that dies when she goes back into the virtual. And then, what in the fuck is this ending? It is... Oh, I mean, there is another cutscene after this, but if there wasn't, I genuinely think I would have ate my monitor. The proper ending cutscene for this game, thankfully, is a lot better. The first half consists of Master Chief having a chat with Lasky, how the war is finally over for now with even the Forerunners defeated. And Master Chief basically says, I'm ready for the next fight and everything. If you ever need me, just give me a call. But Lasky says, hey, maybe you should take Cortana's advice, because soldiers in the end aren't machines, they are just humans. And that makes Master Chief realize what Cortana meant all the time back. This really, really nice moment of him finally understanding what Cortana really wanted from him. He goes down to Earth, his home. Those playing the Master Chief collection, this ending is basically Master Chief retiring. No longer wanting to be a war machine, but just like the player, he is a human who needs a break once in a while. This ending sequence is great. This is what I would have wanted to play basically right after the Didact died. No weird shit with Cortana becoming a Force Ghost. Just Master Chief taking Cortana's words to heart and becoming a true human again. That also links back to the beginning cutscene of the game with Halsey, basically engineering Spartans to be no longer human, but weapons. And this would go full circle with Cortana having helped Chief realize that he is still a human, not a weapon. Would have been a perfect arc, and I'm really happy with how it is now. But that little bit with Cortana's Force Ghost just really stings. But anyways, that ends off Halo 4. Thank you all for watching, and why the fuck is there still so much time left in this video? So yeah, Halo 4's campaign has a sort of optional continuation, I guess, in a side mode called Spartan Ops. I have decided to cut this off from the main part of the game, from the main story, because if I was ranking Spartan Ops as part of the main story, Halo 4 would end up being the worst Halo game I've ever played. Holy shit, this mode is ass. Intended for 4 players, I know, but you can also play Halo campaign with 4 players and it's still balanced. You can play it solo and it's still balanced. So I'd expect this mode to be the same. But even with 10 players, this mode would be ass. You are thrown into a random map. There are a ton of them, so that's good. But still, you're thrown into a map and given the most basic objective of all time. Go here and press 3 buttons. Destroy these 3 capsules. It's that boring. While the game just throws a trillion enemies at you. Like a dozen. And the only reason that you're supposed to be playing these is for some story cutscenes which further develop what happened after Halo 4. This is cut into 10 chapters. So let me quickly tell you my favorite level from every chapter. So levels that I actually enjoyed. And then I will tell you the story. Let me preface this by saying that I didn't play every single Spartan Ops mission. I played those that I wanted to, and I skipped those that looked like I had already played a very similar mission. I wanted to get this video over with. But from chapter 1, the only mission I enjoy is the very first one. You're given some allies, which will basically never happen again until later on. And you're also given a handful of vehicles, and this is where I actually thought this was going to be fun, because you're thrown into this really nice and open environment, and this is a very vehicle-based mission, where you can take the medium vehicles you start with to the end if you want to, but you can also steal heavy vehicles from the Covenant, and thus make it easier for yourself. This level heavily encourages stealing equipment from the enemy, which is of course a key part of Halo, but it's never been focused on as much in this level, so I enjoyed it. Chapter 2 straight up has not a single good level in my opinion, and it highlights my issues with this mode perfectly. Because not only does it just throw dozens of enemies at you, it does so in endless waves. You are done with one, then they throw in another, and then they throw in another, and then they throw in another. I've always said that my least favorite part of Halo is when you're in a single area of the map, and they just ferry in more and more enemies, and after you're done they bring in more. That has always been annoying, and that is basically all that Spartan Ops is. Chapter 3 has by far my favorite level. It's called Shootout in Valhalla, and if I remember its name, you know it's actually going to be good. Not only is the map gorgeous, but you start off on foot, fighting Covenant as usual. However, the draw pods begin carrying more and more hunters until you eventually arrive at like 4 hunters being dropped in at once. And just when it seems to be getting too much to handle, you are given a bunch of mantises to help even out the playing field. But then the Covenant begins evening that out itself by bringing in all those flying vehicles who I still don't remember the names of. Now then, you can either remain in your mantis and take them out that way, or you are completely free to steal a flying vehicle and park it somewhere, so you can use it to make these flying sections a lot easier and preserve the mantises you are given for the harder on foot sections. This level is just actually super fun. Spartan Ops Chapter 4 has as much value to society as I do. Spartan Ops Chapter 5 revolutionizes the gameplay by not having you go to 3 points, but it has the enemy go to 2, which you have to defend. Wild, I know. The only reason that this level is fun is that the enemy AI is so dog shit in this level that they just forget you exist and blindly fire at the generators you need to protect. I got to see like every assassination animation in the game. That was fun. Fuck you. Fans of this mode agree that the first 5 chapters are shit, but will say that from chapter 6 onwards, these missions actually get good with unique mechanics, events, and maps we never visited in the campaign. So I am hyped as shit to see what everything is about. So I joined into chapter 6 of Spartan Ops. Well, I did... Every mission from chapter 6 onward was broken and would not load. Alright, so what the hell's the story that goes on here? 6 months after the events of Halo 4, the UNSC Infinity, led by Lasky, goes back to Requiem because the Covenant is also going there and stealing artifacts. Obviously they don't want Forerunner technology in Covenant hands. We get introduced to a new team of Spartans called Majestic, which has characters. The only one that's memorable is the main guy called Miller, who survived the composing that the Didact did to that one city on Earth. The only other character I remember is this woman, because she is the most vile and disgusting woman I have ever seen in a video game, and I have seen Dark Souls characters, holy shit. So yeah, the Infinity goes there in a really badass way. Sergeant Palmer is leading all the Spartans now. Yes, Palmer was that one hot woman. And we all go down there to, you know, stop the Covenant from retrieving all these artifacts. Noteworthy is that while we are introduced to Spartan Team Majestic, we not once actually get to play as them. The gameplay sections are all from the view of a different Spartan team called Crimson. Why did we ever get introduced to Majestic? I have absolutely no clue. After playing through Chapter 1, you would then get the cutscene that leads into Chapter 2. The Promethean presence on Requiem increases drastically, with them even aligning with the Covenant again. This leads to one of the members of Majestic team getting critically injured. I don't know if he dies or if he's like fine. I don't even know who he is, but he sure did get injured. Meanwhile, the artifact that Crimson retrieved in Chapter 1 EMPs the ship and also teleports this one doctor away. Because we can't have our new characters actually do anything, they decide to bring Halsey out of prison on board of the ship so she can help them, and she like immediately figures out that this device is talking to a few other devices on Requiem and has basically anchored them to the Forerunner planet, meaning that they cannot escape. But right now they don't need to, so they really are just more interested in figuring out why this device does that. We never figured that out. And what else is going on? Meanwhile, the Doctor is teleported from one device to another over to the main villain of this side campaign, Jurmamdama, the elite that helped the Didact get that alliance with the Covenant running in the main campaign of Halo 4. And he now has the Doctor and wants him to work for him. In the next chapter we figure out what Jurmamdama wants, and he wants access to the Librarian, who is revealed to actually be an AI that is in this Forerunner planet. Even though she used to be a real person? Or something? I don't really know. But now we know what Jurmamdama wants, besides some sweet sexual action with that Doctor. To allow Jurmamdama and the Doctor their private time, we cut to Team Majestic, who are retrieving yet another Forerunner artifact from Requiem. This turns out to be the soul of a Promethean, which reveals to us that the Prometheans are humans. I mean, it's just crazy that the writers managed to come up with a plot point so interesting that they had to explain it vividly twice. They could have done something interesting with Miller in this sequence, maybe have him realize that the Prometheans he has been killing are his neighbors, his friends from the city that got composed. I would have made him an actually interesting character. No, instead, like a fucking dumbass, he touches the weird space rock and also gets teleported away. Miller helps the Doctor escape, but now he has become the target of the wrath of the Didact's right-hand man, this random assassin elite. Dr. Halsey escapes captivity and does some dumb shit before she's immediately captured, and somehow the Prometheans can now warp onto the UNSC Infinity, so they begin attacking it, but immediately leave once they have recaptured Dr. Halsey. Miller fights the weird assassin elite and is rescued by his team, who are finally back. I, by the way, still do not know if that one guy who was injured is with them now, or if he just straight up died, but they're all back together, and now it's time for the final push. For her attempt to betray the UNSC leader is now on Dr. Halsey dead, which Lasky objects to, but Palmer is more than willing to kill the bitch. Meanwhile, Halsey, who is now with Jewel Mandama, runs into the weird artifact thingamabob and talks with the librarian AI, who hands her 2 pieces of a device which show the location of every single Forerunner artifact in the galaxy. Spartan Team Majestic rescue Dr. Halsey, but Palmer is also there and she shoots Halsey. But then Jewel Mandama flees with Halsey with the help of the Prometheans, and then the conflict of the two of them, as in Majestic and Palmer, is instantly forgotten, never even mentioned again, as Jewel Mandama initiates the sequence that will make Requiem fly into the sun. So now the Majestic and Palmer team up to destroy the anchor artifacts, keeping Infinity in place, which allows Infinity to leave and end all of this once and for all. But of course we're left on a cliffhanger, which shows that Dr. Halsey is now working with the Covenant and has become an enemy to the UNSC. And with that, we are finally done with Halo 4. Finally done with the Halo franchise. There are of course more games, but I'm not gonna be playing them. I think Halo 4 is a great ending, and Halo 5 isn't on PC, and I don't just want to leave out one of the games. So where would I place all the Halo games? Controversial opinions here coming up. Halo CE is, in my opinion, absolutely no doubt the worst one. It is still a good first-person shooter, and I can see how revolutionary it is, but it was just really not that fun, and some of those levels still haunt me to this day. Following that is, in my opinion, Halo 3 ODST. Yes, it has fallen that many slots on my ranking after I played Reach, because I think Reach is just a better ODST. After ODST, I would put Halo 2. Still a great game, don't get me wrong, but some of those levels there as well were just really, really bad. Then after that, I would put Halo Reach. Great game, like from this point on, all the games are great in my opinion. Yeah, Halo Reach, absolutely great game. Only beaten out by Halo 4 in slot 2 because I found the story of Halo 4 better, more emotional. But when it comes down to the levels, Halo Reach actually beats out Halo 4, so these two can change locations on a dime, and so can number 1 and 2, because right now I'd have Halo 3 just barely on number 1, but depending on my mood, it's gonna fall down to slot 2, under Reach, or Halo 4 any day of the week. So yeah, that is my ranking. Thank you all for watching this video, and thank those that have watched every single video twice as much. Yeah, this was it. What an emotional journey. I'm so glad I got to play all these amazing games. See ya next time.